From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Morning Line with Nick Barris.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Morning Line on this Wednesday. A good show on tap for you as we embark upon the holiday weekend. You know, the 4th of July coming up on Monday. A lot going on. Not sure what your plans are, but boy, it's going to be busy in downtown Nashville. We want to talk a little bit about what's in store for that. And then later in the program, we've got two segments with our first guest, who's terrific, and we'll have him for you in just a moment. Later in the program, Leland Statham will be joining us. We're going to talk to him not just about the weather that can be expected for the holiday weekend, but beyond that, just talk to him about what we've seen so far this summer and the heat that we've dealt with and maybe some of the phenomenon. It's always interesting talking to Leland about weather, so he'll join us in a couple of segments. But first, the CEO of the Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation, that would be Butch Spyridon, is joining us now live by Zoom. And there is the man. This is a big, big weekend for him. But you know what? He has a lot of big weekends, am I right? I mean, think about all the big weekends you've had in the years you've worked here, Butch. Where does the 4th of July rank? And I'm talking, look, New Year's, the NFL draft, the list goes on. How big is the 4th of July?
Well, it's the single biggest one-day event that we do. For us, it seems to get better every year. We learn, we listen, and I'm a bit of a pyromaniac, so I love the fireworks, and they will be bigger.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking that so many of the communities around us right now have burn bans in place. So, you know, some cities that plan fireworks shows may not be able to do them, and certainly citizens may not be able to do it. So you think that could mean, hey, look, there's no burn ban going to shut down the Nashville show. Let's go. Is that going to mean a larger crowd?
You know, I think it does help. I did notice yesterday a lot of cancellations starting. We work closely with the fire department. We have never not shot our show in the 18 years we've been doing it. And I emailed our pyro guy last night and said, if any of your shows cancel, we'll buy the shells. So we're ready.
Seriously, so I guess I was reading, we're talking, I think, 40,000 pounds of explosive is what they say. I mean, when you say you would buy if there's spare, first of all, does that mean, and I've heard with supply chain issues and some of these fireworks stands, and they've already popped up, it's a little more expensive this year. I haven't hit one yet. But, I mean, where do you guys get the fireworks? And what kind of budget do you have for it? And are you serious? I mean, you could add more right now if more came available?
I'll go in reverse. We can add to the finale. The show is choreographed, so the main portion of the show I can't screw with very much, but we can add on to the finale. We've done it one other time, the wettest July 4th in history. Literally everybody but us canceled, and we bought a number of additional shells. So we will go. It's big. It's north of 6 figures in terms of the show, and prices have gone up dramatically. We have shells primarily from China, but that supply chain's what's been hit the most. We have some Spanish shells and we have some U.S. made. I think U.S. is finally catching up on the quality, which we'd much prefer to buy local. And then the last thing I would say on that is we're a priority for pyro shows. They're a Tennessee company, and because we do so much together, we're there for make sure Nashville's got what it needs, and we appreciate that from them.
So I guess, how does it measure up? Nashville, is it the largest? You always hear there's like, you know, between us and what happens in New York City, or I don't know, Washington, D.C. What was the most recent ranking for how large the show sits?
I think it's gone back and forth between us and New York over the last 5 years. We threw the gauntlet down a few years back. We made Macy's mad, which is really all I was hoping to do.
Yeah.
And so I would say it's one of the 2 or 3 largest shows in the country. It is the only show choreographed to live music. And it's pretty special. It's well done. I give Park Goes and the Symphony a lot of credit, and it is a team effort across city departments and our office and everybody else. It's a beast.
Yeah, it's huge. All right, so this is the 19th annual, and it's called Let Freedom Ring. That's the celebration. I guess last year.
Freedom Sing.
Oh, see, Let Freedom Sing. Okay, I'm sorry. And 350,000 people last year, so we anticipate at least that many, probably more this time around. I mean, could we approach 500,000?
You know, we could. I know y'all are going to carry the fireworks live, and that may affect it a little bit. And also Mondays. You know, we do way better on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, July 4th. Monday can affect hotel stays a little bit, but regardless, within a half-mile radius, over 300,000 people, and hopefully a record crowd this year.
Okay, so yeah, it's as you said, Channel 5 will be hosting a special. We'll be doing a lot all that evening on Monday, but somehow I got roped into being involved in this event. And you would think someone with my seniority would be able to be home barbecuing and relax, but no. I'm going to be part of this year. I'm going to be down probably on 2nd and Broad on a riser. What I want to do is I have a stand-up paddleboard, and I was thinking, if possible, I would love to have my surfboard down on the waterway. But am I to understand that between the two bridges, no unlicensed, watercraft will be allowed in there? Or could I conceivably paddle down and look up at the fireworks from my paddleboard?
Well, you could. You'd probably get arrested.
I would be arrested.
And you would be in the fallout zone. So, yeah, between the bridges is shut down. The show is so large, and we have a few 10-inch shells this year. They're the hardest to get because China shipped none.
What are they called?
So it's 1,000-foot radius.
What were those called? What kind of shells, and what are they?
10-inch. The largest shell is a 10-inch diameter.
Oh, okay.
And so 1,000-foot radius of a clear fallout zone for those. And they've become my favorite because they take up the whole sky.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, we have to keep you outside the bridges.
All right,
we apologize.
So for my own safety, you're going to keep me out, which I appreciate you looking out for me. Do you recall, was it last 4th of July, or when was it where, remember there were some folks that got in that building across the way?
Oh, that was last. The best examples last year, we had some young ladies, some employees of the building sneak in, and we had to delay the show. I know I got blamed for that, but it was strictly public safety. And I compliment police and fire for catching it before the show went off. And then about 5 years ago, we had a shell that didn't explode in the sky and knocked a hole in the stadium. So when you see the kind of damage they can do, it makes you pay a lot more attention to the fallout zone. So we appreciate our friends at the fire department and everybody that works to make it a safe event.
You are accustomed to being blamed for things. You were responsible for those cherry trees during the NFL draft, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, you take it. You have a thick
all
skin.
All good things have a price.
Yes. So the show, I know it dictates based on the weather and what it looks like outside, but it looks like we think the fireworks show probably will start around 9:30, and does it run for a half hour?
Yes. Right now, the minute-by-minute show rundown says 9:29.
Okay.
So sometime between 9:29 and 9:30, assuming everything's in order, we will start the show, and it's a roughly 30-minute show.
And is it sponsored by Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, they have been our primary presenting sponsor for as long as I can remember. We're so grateful to them. They are even this year, they're bringing in a team of folks to look at how we activate their sponsorship as a model for their company. So feel good about our future partnership with them as well.
Well, this is a big deal coming up. We'll take a break. We have one more segment with you if you will just wait. I know you get hypoglycemic if you don't get your morning breakfast, so we'll get you to that in just a few minutes. But we'll take a break. When we come back, while we take this commercial break, think to yourself, I'd like to share a couple of tidbits with Nick that then he can share during our live coverage on Monday that's kind of interesting behind the scenes that most people don't know about. Come on, you got to give me something on the fireworks show that I can say, by the way, I talked to Butch last week. Did did you know this about the show? And, you know, you can just share that with me when we come back, and then I'll save that for later on our coverage. And then I have a few other things to ask you for. Stick around. We'll be right back with Butch Spyridon right after this.